Happy New Year or Happy 2020, whenever. I know it's late, but whatever. Okay, so this is my very first video of 2020. Woohoo. But this is a very special year. This year celebrates 15 years of my filmmaking. I've been making films since 2005. And I just thought it'd be fun to talk about my personal favourite films and to kick off the celebrations of 15 years and talk about, you know, these films, because these are my personal favourites, and they're also ones I like to talk about the most. And if you've been following my YouTube channel since 2012, then you'll know how this goes. So anyway, I'm just going to talk about my favourite films and my personal moments about them and everything. So yeah, let's just break down and have a look at what my personal favourite films are and all the fun that I've had over the 15 years. So Horrorland, of course, as you remember, is my very first film I did back in 2006. I mean, it was announced in 2005 when I started to make films, and in 2006 it was the first time to be released. I mean, people always say that 2006 was the first year, but it wasn't. It was 2005, because Horrorland started production in late 2005 and it finished in early 2006. And it is, of course, my first film that I made. It's animated, it's stop motion. I really enjoy it and I love it, you know, because it's the film that kicked off my filmmaking career, I guess. It's the one that started it all, and for me to start that journey and for me to say, right, this is what I definitely want to do in life. And yeah, 2006 was quite a very hectic year, but it's amazing because that was the best part of 2006, was that I made this fun little short film, and it was great. I mean, it was at school and, you know, it was years ago, but it's incredible to think that, you know, that was 14 years ago already. It's madness, but it's incredible that it's been that long. But I look at it and I always think that's how far I've improved and everything. And it's just a very funny short film, and we laugh about it because it does look incredibly crazy. But I always feel proud that I won 2 certificate awards for it as well. And I knew that when it won the 2 awards, that's when I knew that this is what I wanted to do. My very first feature film, which happened by accident, I wrote a script back in 2014, and it was originally only meant to be a 20-minute film, turned into a massive 50-minute film. Extra 30 minutes of footage added. But this is a really interesting film because this is a Fargo fan film, because I fell in love with Fargo in 2014 and I decided I wanted to do a Fargo kind of film. So I ended up making, you know, Big Crime in a Small Town, which is literally a fan film of Fargo. But I loved making that film. 7 months it took to make. Charlie's performance in the movie is always great as the villain, you know, Crane. It's always fun. I love watching the film, especially my personal director's cut. I think it's a great film, and I love that I showed everybody this project, and everybody was amazed by it. I can't believe it was critically acclaimed as well. Everyone loved this film, and I watch it pretty much most of the time, and I'm still proud of how far it's come, like from there to there now. And you know, I mean, it has its flaws, but it's such a personal great film and I love it, and I'm very proud of it. I'm still very proud of it to this day. And we made it 5 years ago, 5 years ago from 2019, and looking at it from there till now, from the improvements, is incredible. But I really love it because it does have a great script and the performances in it are still very, very strong. My second feature film I did, and I know that this one is the one that no one really liked. This is the film that everybody was complaining about because they said the script was messy, it's too much like my first film, it's too dark, it was a bit, you know, the characters are unlikable apparently. There was loads of stuff that people didn't like about this film, but I made the film because I realised I was a bit overconfident with it, and I do know that. I was very overconfident. I thought, oh, this film's going to be fine, people are going to like it, and most of them didn't, and I completely understand why. I look back on it now and I realise the mistakes I made, but it's a fun film that I did do, and we did have a good time making it. It's got a great cast in it. I think it definitely could have been better. Of course it could. I think the script could have been a bit better. Even though this was definitely one of the most stressful films that I was writing, it for some reason still turned out like that. I see maybe production problems was the problem in this film. But saying that though, I look back on it and yeah, there's mistakes, but mistakes happen and you learn from those mistakes, so you just move on. But yeah, there you go. 2016 was what kicked off a very hilarious web series, Archie and Jim. Me and Charlie were celebrating a great 2016. We had a great 2016. we decided to make a comedy short, go back to our roots of comedy. We came up with these two characters called Archie and Jim. Archie was obviously rhymes with Charlie, so we talked to Mickey out of that. But Archie sounds like such a grumpy name, so we just used that and called him Archie. And obviously my character, Jim, who's this absolute bonkers idiot who I love playing idiots, he comes along and, you know, we played these two opposite characters. They're very opposite of each other, and we thought it'd be funny, sort of like a mix take of me and him in real life. And then we released Lime, and it became a huge hit. And then we ended up making a few short films a year after. Next thing you know, we ended up making a series of Archie and Jim, and we stick it on YouTube. And we're doing series 3 at the minute, which is very good. And yeah, there will be a series 3, so there's a little update there. But not just that as well, the fact that Archie and Jim has become a success is incredible. I'm very proud of making these characters, and me and Charlie have a lot of fun playing these guys, and they are a lot of fun to just write and create and come up with all these bizarre episodes and stories. It's so much fun, it really is, and they do bring a lot of fun out of me and Charlie. The good thing about Archie and Jim as well is you ain't got to worry about how good the episodes look, the editing, the sound, everything, because it's meant to be shit. It's Archie and Jim. They're meant to be silly, for God's sake. Get over it. But more are coming, so we're happy about that, and we're very happy that series 2 was a success to make a series 3. This is definitely one of my favourites in short film category. The Vampire Rat was a film that we did for Halloween. It was my sort of first Halloween-y horror film to come out near Halloween, obviously. And, you know, I had this idea about a vampire, a bat, or a rat in a flat, and I'm making too many rhymes. But basically we had this idea of, you know, this vermin with teeth in a flat. Girl calls a policeman, he comes in, tries to sort out the character. But what makes me laugh is it's set in black and white, it's got vinyl sound on it, it looks like an old movie, and that's what it was meant to be. It was just meant to look like a really old, crappy horror film, but look like in a very modern way. But it's done in a very hilarious way, and I loved making this film. It's in black and white. We did use a great prop for it, and I actually look back on it, I do look like an old 1940 policeman. It looks hilarious. I really had loads of fun making The Vampire Rat. The reaction I got with this film was hilarious. Everybody wet themselves laughing at this movie, and I'm glad that people do love that film. So, and I watch it now and again, and I still laugh at it. It's a very funny film. Cash in the Pond was my third feature film that I did. Because obviously after Cold Street I was scared of making another feature film, but I needed to make another one to win back my audience. Everyone kept saying to me after Cold Street, make a comedy, make a comedy. So Cash in the Pond was a script that I wrote back in 2015, found it 2 years later, looked at it, loved it, decided to make it, made it, released it, everybody loved it. It's now got over 6,000 views on YouTube. It's hilarious. I cannot believe that this film became my most watched movie. It was a lot of fun making this film. Got great actors involved, Asif, Ryan and Natasha, who play Eric, Arthur and Roma, and each one of them gave out a great performance. I loved working with these guys, and the film as well is just bonkers and hilarious. I'm glad it's turned out how it is. I'm glad people enjoy it, you know, because a lot of people say it's so bad that it's good. And I can take that sort of criticism because it means they love it. So there you go. I mean, you know, I didn't think it was going to be a success at all. I thought people were going to hate it, but they're watching it and they're loving it. So nothing to lose. Regulator was my first sci-fi film and my first film that I worked on with Ryan McGregor, who I've worked with on many projects before. Regulated was a very fun film because we got two amazing actors. Me and Charlie went out on location, we filmed this project like a proper professional little film, like more than the other films we ever did, because we started to really build ourselves much more better now, and we went out on location and made this little project, and it was a lot of fun. It was such a fun film to make, and it's actually one of the best sci-fi films I think I've done out of all the challenges, because it's very well acted, it's got a great story to it, to squeeze in just for 5 minutes, and it looks beautiful. So I am extremely proud of my film Regulated. I think it's a very, very good film. And yeah, that's all I can say. Slice Like a Fox was a horror film that I came up with in 2017. I had to go through many rewrites because a lot of actors don't like horror. They're actors, but they don't do horror. So I had to rewrite the story, and then I came up with this new idea about two girls who are sisters who try and find the serial killer to find out what goes on in his head. And that was the story that I came up with. Two amazing actresses involved, Lauren and Victoria, who make the film so superbly. Like, they both just had amazing chemistry and did a fantastic job. And Ryan McGregor returns as well in this film, and also got to work with two other great actors. I got Sarah and Alicia involved as well, two actresses who I really wanted to work with, and it turned out to be a very fun black comedy horror. Very cliched at times, a little bit cheesy, but people seem to love all that stuff more than other parts, I guess. But it was very well received, and it's actually one of my favourite horror films I think I've ever done. It just looks amazing. It feels like it was made on a budget. It's incredibly well done. I'm very proud of it, and I love it because the performances in it are very strong. Locations are beautiful, and it's so incredibly comically dark. What more could you want? Personal favourite film of mine is The Wolf, obviously. One of my favourites, sorry, not my number one favourite. The Wolf was based off Peter and the Wolf. It's a short little fairy tale film, but in a modern way. Characters are dressed up like animals to represent Peter and the Wolf, and I was very happy with this one. There's no dialogue in the film apart from narration, and people still say to me that this is one of my favourite, one of their best films that they love. They say this is one of the best films that I've done. They say it's one of their favourites, and it's one of the best ones I've done. And I'm glad that they still love it. It's doing very well on YouTube, and I'm glad that people are watching it and loving it. I'm glad they're having a laugh with it because it does look hilarious. It's comically dark as well. Great actors, Chris Hampshire especially as the Wolf is absolutely incredible. Love that guy, and I love watching it because he makes that film so terrifying. And then when you watch the other actors involved, it looks very friendly. So it's a very good mix of dark and happiness. And plus it's Christmassy. So there you go. My fourth feature film, The Wonders of Alice, and probably one of my favourite feature films of all time that I've made, obviously, is a very huge film. Cash in the Pond was very laid back. Wonders of Alice is massive, and that's what I went for. It's also great because in the past I didn't have many female characters involved in this film and in previous films. Sorry, I keep messing my lines up. Not many female actresses in previous films. So I had to find more actresses in this film for The Wonders of Alice, and I found a very talented bunch of people involved. Everybody did a fantastic job. The Wonders of Alice is a great film, great villain as well, great locations, great characters, great acting from everybody. There's loads of things that I love about it, and it's very original in its own way. It's a very original Alice film, and also I love how it's just represented as well. Very strong message inside as well, which I'm very happy about, that people love. And I'm so happy that this movie is popular to this day, and I cannot wait to finish the sequel. I am a huge fan of Monty Python, so Mint Street was like a Monty Python parody sketch. This place does exist, Mint Street is real. If you haven't seen Mint Street, then you have to find it. It's in Bethnal Green in London. And the place was full of the green buildings, green bricks, green roads, green everything. How could I not make a sketch out of this? So I immediately found this place by accident, wrote a script, sent it to my best friend Charlie and said to him, I've got an idea for a Monty Python sketch. How about Mint Street? Showed him the pictures and he was like, everybody's got to wear green. And that's exactly what they did. It's a very funny sketch, and I absolutely love Mint Street, and I'm very proud of it because it's absolutely over the top bonkers. You Shouldn't Be Here is my latest horror film, and it was voted Best 2019 Film, so thank you to everyone who voted on Twitter. Just to talk about that as well, like, I didn't know how it was going to go. I was really worried because a lot of actors kept turning this role down because it's true, a lot of actors don't seem to like horror films. I don't know why, but when I did this one, got less characters, less story, but more strong horror, and amazingly, Beatrice, who's in this film, who plays the main lead actress, does a fantastic job. I also got some great actors involved, Hamish and Mike, who play the father and one of the kidnappers. Everybody did an amazing job. Like, it feels like a really scary horror film, and it's all because the actors put their all in it. I mean, Hamish especially as the villain, it's just incredible, and I just love how it looks. It's very suspenseful and very dark, and it's amazingly performed, and I think it's definitely one of the best horrors I've made. But I still prefer Slice Like a Fox just a bit more. The Donkey is my autism awareness film that I've made. Not many people have seen it yet, but it is coming out obviously after the festival run. But it's in film festivals at the moment, sending it everywhere, and I'm hoping people will watch it and love it and think it's amazing. And it's one of the most personal films I've ever done. I really enjoyed making that film. As soon as I graduated from university, first thing I wanted to do was make an autism awareness film, and this is it. I finally have done it, and I'm so proud of it. It looks like such a beautiful little project that I'm so happy with. Great actors, a great cinematographer who helped me, fantastic people involved, and I'm very proud of this one especially. I think The Donkey is definitely one of my top 5 favourites in my films category. And yeah, okay guys, so those are my top favourite films and everything. There's no top number 1, number 2 anything. This is just a list that I've come up with, but these are my films that I've done. I'm so proud of these guys. And also as well, I just want to say to everybody who's been in my films and helped me out, thank you so much. You guys are absolute legends, and I really appreciate it. If you guys are new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe me, because there's going to be more coming up. More stuff coming for my 15-year celebration, more short films, more updates, more stuff like that. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be bonkers. Guys, as always, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Please subscribe me, please watch me, please keep an eye out for more updates and everything, because it really, I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for being there since day one as well. So, yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.